it up for Ohio State.
You've waited all day for this.
Go with that team standing away. He's going to take it to the house. 85 yards. Down the right side going Devin Smith. Got it at the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown.
The one show that's nothing but the Buckeyes.
Oh, Graham Rucker for the touchdown. Graham shoots it high on the right for 3.
This is the Buckeye Show.
Presented by Schottenstein Roofing. For top quality and a price match guarantee, visit SchottensteinRoofing.com.
Indeed, it is the Buckeye Show. I am Tito DeVier to my right. I don't know if I can play the DeVier music anymore, DeVier.
No, that's only for Sundays only.
But I don't think I can play it at all. Can I play that?
No.
I can't, Bodie, can I?
I have no idea. I don't know exactly what the
he doesn't know.
restrictions
Okay,
are.
well,
How long is it?
It's like 5 seconds, and it's from the Yo MTV Raps. It's like the You Down with MTV.
I have no idea what that is. But
Okay, I'm not going to play it because I don't know if I'll get in trouble.
okay, yeah, it's better safe than sorry.
Yeah.
I'll check in on that and see if I can do that one. That's Bodie over there. Because I'm Tito, the Dr. DeVier to my right. Got a big show lined up for you today. Go check us out now on YouTube. Watch your favorite shows live. Check out the videos and YouTube Shorts. How do you find us? Head to YouTube and search 97.1 The Fan. And don't forget to subscribe to the Fan's new YouTube channel. They've had some great guests on Morning Juice, and you can check that out in the morning. With I think today they had Lathan Ransom on. We're going to hear from Lathan Ransom, some of the things he said later on. Lots to get into today. Speaking of the YouTube thing, I'm standing up, DeVier.
This seems weird. You're doing
I'll tell you why.
up today.
I'll tell you why. Last night during the show I did with Tyvis,
Okay.
I get a text from my mom. Sit up straighter. Your shirt is wrinkly around your boobs.
She's watching the tape. Only
She
mom.
watched it yesterday and sent that to me when I'm on the air. First of all, it rattled me. You know, mom doesn't know you don't text me during the show.
Yeah.
But then the fact that she said that, and now I feel like I need to stand up. I don't like standing up because it's hard to, but I think I'm going to have to do that now.
Tito, you sound more clear.
When I'm
I
standing
feel
up
like I
this.
should stand up.
Don't do it.
I'll do it next. I'll do it next segment.
I mean, you know, if former NFL players don't want to stand up and I have to, that's okay. I don't know if that's fair or not. I did get a jab in on Tyvis for you last night, though.
Uh-oh. See, we're still doing this.
No, we're not going to do that.
Can't wait till Buckeye football starts.
We're not going to do. No, we're not talking about that anymore. I'm just telling him we had a segment yesterday about players that either overperformed their star rating or underperformed.
Okay.
And I told him that I said, you know, Tyvis, when you came in, you were just a 3-star.
Yeah.
But by the end, you were so good that people were calling you the DeVier Posey of defensive backs. He didn't find that very amusing.
No, he didn't like that.
No. CBS did a piece on players that will make jumps in college football this year. We'll talk about that. Some Buckeyes on that list. We got the some Ohio State football lines for 6 of their games. And we've also got, obviously, the College Football Pulse that Bodie will throw at us. We'll close things out with hashtag Buckeyes. I saw the news today. First of all, DeVier, how's your day? How's your week been so far, buddy? It's me and you the next few days.
Man, it's been going good, man. I since I saw you on Sunday,
Yes.
I've just been grilling.
Really?
No, I've been grilling. We got grilled food until Friday.
That's outstanding.
I just was like, I think I still smell like smoke.
Yeah.
Man, I enjoyed Memorial Day, hanging out with some family and friends. It was good. And, you know, just one of those weeks. But then, you know, Tuesday comes and you're like, oh, my gosh, here we go. And you got just all this stuff I'm trying to get in.
Sure.
But for the most part, the week has been going awesome.
I think it's acceptable to smell like grill.
Absolutely.
There should be a
garage still smells
cologne.
like grill.
There should be a cologne that you can buy.
The steak grill cologne?
Something like that. Yeah, maybe
Chicken
something
grill
like
cologne?
yeah,
Fish?
maybe McCormick's could put something out like that, you know.
McCormick, yeah.
Yeah, something
They
like
could.
that. Or Lowry's or something like that, where they have a cologne. I think it would work. All right. I saw this, and it's not really directly about the Buckeyes, but, you know, when Bronny James first announced he was leaving USC.
I thought we had a chance.
Well, I did too. I thought we did also. And then it was, you know, is he going Duquesne came up because the connection with LeBron's friend that's a head coach at Duquesne.
Yeah.
There was the Arkansas talk
Drew
with
Joyce.
Calipari. Yeah, Drew Joyce was the coach out there at Duquesne. And Ohio State was initially one of the teams that they talked about. I don't know if it was ever officially like Ohio State's a potential landing spot or if it was just speculation that it would make sense. Because LeBron always says, and by the way, love LeBron. I think he's lying. LeBron always said if he went to college, he'd go to Ohio State. I don't believe that for a second. I think he would have gone to Duke. I think he would have gone to Duke with Coach K.
No, Bron. There's
You
no
don't think
way.
so?
I know he went to St. Vincent St. Mary's. No way he could get in there academically at that time.
I think anybody can get in there academically if you're a good enough athlete.
Now, this is pre one and done Duke. This is pre like Austin Rivers.
You think if LeBron went there, if went to Coach K's, I want to come play here, I'll probably be a one and done. You think Coach K would have said no?
I just think at that time, Coach K wasn't doing one and done guys, man. Like, I think that was like after Kyle Singler and John Shire and all those guys and Nolan Smith, and when they won that natty, and then they got Kyrie and Austin Rivers, and then their one and done run started happening.
So now Bronny comes out, and he's going to stay in the draft. So that's why, and I kind of tease that another member of the James family is spurning Ohio State, which isn't really true because I don't think he was ever going to come here in the first place. But he has said he's only going to work out for a couple of teams now. And, he averaged 5 points a game for USC. I don't even know I guess if he went to Ohio State and wanted to come play for Diebler, would Diebler have taken him?
I don't know. I mean, just this whole Bronny to the NBA. Right. It just seems so, coached up. He did an interview to where he was like, well, just give us your comps, Bron. Right. And he was like he named great role players like Drew Holiday. Right. Guys that come in, they know their role, they play well, they understand basketball, rotation, defense, rebounding. Davion Mitchell from the Kings. Right. He didn't mention guys like Lillard or Steph Curry or, people who score on the ball a lot. And so I just feel like this family, this team that's around them, they've coached him up. And honestly, when you talk about pedigree and understanding your role in the NBA, a guy like Bronny, I think, will probably do better than a guy who's averaged 20 points in college now. It sounds crazy. I think so, too. I'm kind of the same mindset that I think that he's somebody who will be a better NBA player than he was a college player. And particularly the Ohio State basketball team, though, I get more and more excited as we get closer to the season for Ohio State basketball this year. And I can't remember the last time I was this excited about a and I'm Mr. Overly Optimistic. I think I've said for the last 5 years Ohio State will make a Sweet 16. Yeah. And I've been wrong all 5 times. Yeah. I would love to see this team in this Vegas versus Texas. I just want to see the energy that Diebler brings. I want to see how these guys play coming out of training camp. Right. I'm excited for that moment because I think that will tell us a lot about this team. And then also as we're creeping up towards that Christmas break, New Year's, if this team can rattle off some wins during that time, I know things have headed in the right direction. Oh, I think if Ohio State goes over 500 in January this year, I think we have a parade. I think I might loot. It might be that big of a deal. So January, so for you, first hurdle is not Texas, is how we do in January. Well, I should say, I think it's going to be very important as far as because of how they've underperformed so much in January the last few years under Holtman. It's a very important part of that. That's when the conference schedule ramps up. I feel like things have changed. And I wonder how Diebler's going to handle the scheduling this year. Yeah. Is he going to go? I know they got Texas. We know that. We know they got the CBS Sports Challenge. I think that's still going on also with Kentucky and UCLA. And who's the fourth team I'm missing on that one? It's Kentucky, UCLA, and North Carolina. Yep. So that kind of stuff is arguably built into it. But I wonder if he will, because there's so much turnover, new guys in this thing, his first full year as a head coach, I wonder if he will schedule like Izzo schedules or if he will schedule a lighter schedule. You know what I mean? I'm not sure what the best answer is for that. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, Izzo, it always seems to help Michigan State when they get to tournament time. You want to play these intense games. But, look, it's already going to be a tough Big Ten this year. Yes, it is. USC and UCLA in there. Yeah, so I'm excited to see those teams. Those are real basketball schools for me as far as UCLA, and just seeing how we fare against those guys and those guys coming out here during the season. Right. It's going to be cool to see. Yeah, and UCLA won't be able to play Ohio State in that CBS Sports Challenge anymore because you can't play conference games against a conference opponent, I don't think, in these tournaments before the conference season kicks off. So, but that's okay. It's always a fun event anyways with Kentucky and North Carolina in it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to see when the schedule and when we start seeing who they're going to have on that schedule and how heavy they will go with some of the top teams. I still wish, and I know it's not going to happen, I would still love to see a game with Butler. And even you want to see Thad? Yeah, I'd like to see that. If Thad came back here, think about the ovation he would get and the love he would get if they came here and played.
And then I know it also won't happen, but I hope someday a DePaul game happens with Holtman out there now.
It could happen in a tournament.
Yeah.
It could happen in a tournament.
Yep. So, but those are the games that I look forward to that I hope they would put on the schedule soon. And then, it's always fun looking at the Ohio State. You'll see a couple of MAC teams on there, I'm sure, and then we'll see how heavy they go with other opponents there. All right, coming up next, Lathan Ransom was here for the Morning Juice earlier today, and we got some sound from him. He was here on Fan Campus. We'll talk about that next. This is the Buckeye Show, 97.1 The Fan.
Wake up with the Fan. Eat lunch with the Fan. Go to bed with the Fan. Dream about the Fan. Then change your sheets. Gross.
Ew, you guys are gross, but stick around in case I don't find anyone else.
The Fan.
Libman makes a difference. The Libman Mop Crew is a part of our winning team. The Libman Mop Crew makes sure the hardwood is safe and clean for the players every game at the Schottenstein Center. No matter what kind of flooring you have at your home court, Libman has the tools to keep it clean. Our mops, brooms, and brushes are proudly family made in the USA. Visit Libman.com to see our whole lineup and for a store locator. That's Libman.com. Libman, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Come on over to Heartland and join our family.
Did the pandemic eliminate quality customer service? Well, many places it did, but not here at Heartland Bank. Imagine getting top quality service and good advice as well to help you down life's road. It's community banking, and it's alive and well in the Heartland. I'm Scott McComb, CEO, coming over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Fair banking feels good. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
They're trained. They're prepared. Let's do it. They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Kroger always gives you savings and rewards on top of our lower-than-low prices. And when you download the Kroger app, you can enjoy over $500 in savings every week with digital coupons. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. And with a Boost membership, you'll save even more with double fuel points and free delivery. So you can always save big every day with our savings and rewards. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Hi, I'm Gene Smith, Senior Vice President and Director of Athletics. Ohio State Athletics and Cardinal Health know how important diversity, equity, and inclusion are to the success of our community, employees, and student athletes. And we believe an equitable culture creates a community that attracts and retains the very best. Visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com/Buckeye-inclusion to learn more and join us as we educate and celebrate the value of diversity and inclusion.
Do you subscribe to the Fan's YouTube channel? Well, why not? Catch our best interview, Stupid Man and Bone videos, and live video of our shows as they happen.
You can participate in your neighborhood watch.
Search 971 The Fan and subscribe today.
Two guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same two guys drove home. One guy wore a seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
Hey folks, it's game day and the betting's gonna be intense, Drew.
You said it, Dave, but a good pregame routine keeps betting responsible.
That's right, you gotta pause before you play.
Good call. Sports betting is hot, but it can be risky.
And pausing to set limits is an all-star move.
That's right, Dave. If you bet on sports, pause before you play to set limits, recognize the risk, and know when to stop.
Learn more at pausebeforeyouplay.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Mostly cloudy, breezy, and cool. Temperatures only in the mid to upper 60s with scattered showers and a few storms on this Wednesday. Overnight, the rain is out, cool weather back in. Partly cloudy skies, mid to upper 40s for Thursday morning. After a cool start, a pleasant finish. Low humidity, light winds, and highs under sunny skies in the low 70s. With your Doppler 10 forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
Using the Buckeye hookup to play golf at Scarlet whenever we can. This is the Buckeye Show.
All right, it's the Buckeye Show. Tito DeVier, Bodie with you on the YouTube chat. Stan says he thinks LeBron would have went to Akron. I don't know. I don't think he would, but that'd be kind of cool if he did. Yeah. Lathan Ransom came in studio today, and I think Bobby set that up. Bobby's good at getting Buckeye guys in here early in the morning. I don't know how he convinces them to do it, but he gets them in here. Anyways, Lathan was on earlier today on Morning Juice, and he was talking about, he'll play this first from Lathan Ransom, the transition 2 years ago when Jim Knowles arrived on the scene for Ohio State. Here's Lathan.
When he first got there, it was a whole culture change, a whole culture shock, honestly. And I think we started getting so successful when everyone bought in because he brought his guys, and I think they did a great job. And the playbook from Coach Knowles to the coaches before us was way, way bigger. So just trying to get used to all the knowledge and all the different terms, everything used. It definitely took some time, but I think that was what's going to prepare us and why our defense players are going to do so good at the next level, because we had to just learn a whole new system. And then year two, obviously, better, and now year three, it's crazy. I'm like, how can Coach Knowles keep learning so much defense? Like year three, I'm a vet. I'm taking a lot of notes, still trying to just perfect my craft and know as much knowledge as I can about the defense, because he's adding new plays every day. Like he's a mad scientist when it comes to defense.
So I'm pumped about Knowles again. I mean, the changes they made from the time he arrived.
Yeah,
it's been amazing, the transformation.
So one of my good buddies was flying back this weekend. He sent me a picture. He said Knowles was on his flight.
Yeah,
I was like, "Did you say something to him?" He was like, "No." His head was down.
Right,
so he's probably drawing up plays.
He probably is.
He's drawing up plays.
Yeah. Look, and I know that he interviewed. I can't remember what job he interviewed for. He interviewed for a gig. I don't know, Bodie, if you remember. Remember Knowles was it? It wasn't Tulsa, was it? It was something else.
I think it was Duke, right?
Duke. Yeah, it was Duke. It was Duke, yeah.
He has Duke history.
Right. And I'm not saying he wouldn't be a successful head coach, but he just seems to me like he's built to be a DC, you know?
Absolutely. I mean, I think in the new landscape with college football,
right,
those real guru guys like Chip and Knowles, like that DC head coach, DC, OC position, not head coach, is where you want to be when you just really want to, when you love the game. And I think that is what Dave fought with so much, because he loves to be that guru. He is that guru, but just being able to usher Ohio State into this new landscape, he had to be the guy. Right. Yes. And so I think it's just tough when you really love football, you really love schematics, you really love drawing stuff up and playing that chess in today's landscape. But if you're that kind of guy, I think that DC head, offensive coordinator is probably the best spot for you, not head coach now.
I get a Buddy Ryan vibe from him, kind of thing like, Buddy Ryan was a great defensive coordinator. Excuse me. But he did not do well as a head coach because he always wanted defense was his thing. Defense was his thing. Didn't want to get involved in the offense at all. Defense was his thing. And say what you want, at Ohio State right now, yes, Ryan Day is the head coach. He is the CEO. But Chip Kelly is the head coach of that offense. Jim Knowles is the head coach of the defense. You can call him that. I'd have no problem with it. Coordinator sounds like you're an assistant. I think Jim Knowles has complete control of that defense, and I can't wait to see what they do this year. Lathan Ransom was asked also with Bobby and Brandon Beam today about what teams he roots for. This is a funny answer. I remember hearing this.
I'm not a Cardinals fan. Honestly, I grew up a big 49ers fan. Like before, I'm not even going to say I'm a 49ers fan now, but when I was growing up, I was a huge 49ers fan. So if I'm going to claim a team, it'd probably be the 49ers.
Is that your dad? You said your parents?
Yeah, my dad's from California.
So is he a Niners fan then?
He's a LA everything fan. So he was a LA Raiders fan. And then when they moved to Oakland, he was still a fan. Then they moved to Las Vegas. So it's kind of hard for him to be like, I'm a LA Raider fan. But like he LA Raiders, the Lakers, like all those, that's all I grew up watching. Like the Laker games, I literally vividly remember watching. My mom couldn't even be in the same room as my dad watching the Laker game just because he was so into it and yelling every player. Like every play he was saying something. And that's all I grew up watching, and that's why I'm a diehard Kobe fan.
Okay, I'm going to make this about me now. And I want to keep this sound clip. I want to keep this in the system. Yeah. All the hell I catch for going from the Browns to the Steelers after the Browns left for Baltimore. Lathan Ransom's dad is in my corner now because he does not root for the Raiders like he did because they moved to Vegas.
Hey, I got you, man. I struggle with teams just like, he does. It's hard for me to like different teams. I like players.
Right.
And I've lived in so many different cities.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So it's like you can't ever be committed.
Do you still follow the CFL much?
Absolutely.
You do? You stay on it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I still got some guys playing, got younger guys that are, now stars. And
right.
I love the CFL, man. It's so much fun to watch.
Lathan also was, look, I think this guy's got a future in media. He gave his take on the Mavericks and Timberwolves series. Here's, let me get that one going for you here next.
Kyrie's honestly been my favorite player for a long time, so I think to see him and Luka make it was something I really want to see, but I want the series to go longer. I mean, watching Luka and Kyrie, man, two of the best closers in the NBA has been amazing.
So he's spot on to that. I think he's got a future in media. I think it's something he wants to do also eventually, but I think Lathan sounds good. I'll play this last one here. This is also another funny one, though. He's talking about moving around, moving into different houses and things while he's been at Ohio State, and he's got he takes it, he does it himself. Here's him talking about that.
I actually have always moved myself, and it's funny thinking about, I think, my freshman year going to my sophomore year when I was living with Cam Martinez, we had to move, but the way the timing of like the lease is ending is right around fall camp. So I remember the first days of fall camp, we're not staying in the hotels yet. So I'm finishing fall camp practice, coming home, and then for 2 hours, 3 hours, moving all my stuff. And man, I just remember how tired I was, and I'm the type of person, like, I'm so impatient, so I wasn't gonna move one day and then move the second day. Like, I was going to get everything out of my house that first day. So I remember that next practice after that just being exhausted. I've moved twice, and that first time I moved, it was actually because of COVID. They didn't want 4 of us in the room. They wanted 2 of us to do that. But when we had to move from apartment to apartment, we're smashing everything Cam's little car, and it took like probably 10, 15 trips to get everything. And after that, I said, I'm not moving again. So I've been stuck at the city apartments ever since.
If you're going to get together a group of your teammates to help you move, 3 or 4 guys, I mean, who's on that list?
Well, I'll tell you right now, it wouldn't be any DBs. I would definitely get probably Tommy Eichenberg, Stover, probably the whole Stover family.
The whole Stover crew.
Get all of them to definitely help me, I think. But I wouldn't mess with no DBs, no receivers, and then maybe a couple old linemen in there, too.
Smart man. Smart man. Or you can hire a moving service.
You could do that, too, especially now, right? Especially now you can.
Probably $1,000 for an apartment.
He can do it. You've got the money now, I'm sure. I don't know what his NIL money is. I don't know. But I got to believe he can do it. He's had a couple of tough injuries, but he's somebody who I'm rooting for big time this year,
Yeah, I think Ransom as a player, and he wears number 8, so he's in my number 8 fraternity. So I'm always rooting for him. Great dude. Had some time to spend with him this spring, this offseason. Really love that he loves the game and that he, really does his research. You can tell he's one of the smarter players out there. And the thing about his game that I always love is when I talked to him, I said, have you ever watched Kurt Coleman?
Yeah.
And he was like, nah, man. I was like, you guys remind me of each other. You guys are always around the ball, super physical,
right,
for your size, very smart players. And just to see him in his senior year, I just remember the leap that Kurt had as a senior. He was one of our leaders. He made big plays at big moments. I think he's going to have one of those years. And for this defense, I was talking with somebody yesterday. I said, we got to get through Oregon. And I was like, Danny Lanning and Dylan Gabriel don't even understand the defense they're about to play. And I think in those games, in those type of moments, Tito, someone like Ransom will be making those like scoop and scores, pick sixes, because I think this defense is going to get their hands on the ball a lot this year.
He mentioned today that I think they asked him his favorite player was, or a player he kind of likes to watch to kind of model this game after. He said Buda Baker, somebody. Absolutely. That he, and just the way, the physicality of it. Mm-hmm. And I see that in Ransom, too. I'm praying more for a healthy year from this year. I want him to end this thing with and be out there every single game. Can't wait to see that. But thanks again to the Morning Juice guys for getting that for us. Is it weird for you when you see somebody wearing number 8 on Ohio State? Like, does it?
No, I love it. I want to get to know them.
Yeah.
I want to get to know you.
Yeah. That's cool. I didn't know if it'd be like a weird thing for you to see it sometimes. Not that they, I mean, obviously they don't, they've only retired a handful of numbers for Ohio State, but I didn't know like how about the first time you saw somebody else in Ohio State wearing number 8? Did it like shake you at all for a minute? No?
No, because I mean, it's one of those things where like when you get a number at Ohio State, you like enter that number fraternity. Like,
right.
To me, the greatest number at Ohio State is 2.
Is 2, okay.
Yeah. You think about all the 2s.
Right. You think
about all the 7s.
Right.
Think about all the 4s.
Right.
And I think what's the other number that's really good? I think 2 outweighs every number.
Who are all the 2s that you think of then? What, TP?
Off the top of my head?
Do you have any off the top of your head or no?
Oh, yeah. Malcolm Jenkins, Terrell Pryor, Chris Olave, Chris Carter.
Oh, that's right. Carter. I forgot about Carter.
Chase Young.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. J.K. Dobbins. Number 2 is
that might be the best one. You're right. Yeah.
It's elite. Yeah.
Well done off the top of your head like that. That was pretty impressive. Coming up next, CBS Sports did a piece on players that could make significant jumps in college football. We'll talk about that next. It's the Buckeye Show, 97.1 The Fan.
If you don't like listening to Morning Juice, Bobby Carpenter's man nipples will punch you in the face.
For real.
You want to fight, do you?
Weekdays from 6 to 9.
The Fan.
New 2024. Up to 72 months Aria. Up to 36 months Rogue. And 6/3/24.
Reichert Nissan has an announcement to make. 0% financing is now available for up to 72 months. Take a Reichert Nissan Aria home today and pay 0% for 72 months. But that's not all. Reichert Nissan also has 0% financing on Rogue 2. Visit the Reichert Mega Mall off 270 and 33 or shop thousands of new and certified used at ReichertNissan.com.
Get the right car at Reichert.
We're dealing.
With approved credit. Residency restrictions apply. Offers cannot be combined. Dealer contribution affects consumer cost.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
Ohio Mulch Landscape Supply.
Hi, this is Ron Frost with Ohio Mulch, and here's to Ohio Mulch celebrating 40 years of making the community a greener and more beautiful place, one garden at a time. Don't miss out on the opportunities to elevate your outdoor space and to be part of a journey towards the next 40 successful years. Check out our promotions online at ohiomulch.com.
Ohio Mulch Landscape Supply. Greener, greener, better.
Great coaching can make all the difference, especially when it comes to your money. At Right Pac Credit Union, our financial coaches are on your team. We'll help you create a winning game plan that's customized for your unique needs, so you can make the most of your hard-earned money and live the life you want to live. Best of all, Right Pac Credit Union serves all of Central Ohio, so getting in the game is easy. Let's win together. Stop by one of our Central Ohio member centers to get started today. Equal housing opportunity, insured by NCUA.
Are you confident letting just anyone on the roof of your home? I'm Craig Schottenstein, owner of Schottenstein Roofing. Our team is dedicated to delivering outstanding value on every roof we repair or replace. Schottenstein Roofing. Go to schottensteinroofing.com.
The Fan app is about to become your new best friend. Your one-stop shop for all your favorite fan shows. ESPN Columbus and BetQL. Live or on demand. Listen on your schedule. Download the 97.1 The Fan app today. It's free. Do it.
O'Reilly.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
My guys at Germain Lexus are getting ready for the Memorial. What they do every single year is let the golfers drive around in beautiful Lexuses for the week. Then they take those cars and sell them to you. You could be driving Rory's car. The Germain all-month-long celebration's going on right now. You can get great deals like this one. 2024 RX 350, 36-month lease, 10,000 miles per year, $49.99 down, $519 a month. I just picked up my brand new RX 350 a few weeks ago. It is plush. Germain Lexus of Dublin and Easton, GermainLexus.com.
Jimmy walks up to the line. His credit card debt is calling a blitz. He signals to Upstart.com for an audible. Final play. Hike. Jimmy drops back. In a flash, he cuts over to a streaking Upstart.com with a no-cost rate check on a personal loan. He's wide open. An easy toss for Jimmy by finding a great rate in minutes. He applies, he's approved, and touchdown.
Tackle your credit card debt with a personal loan. Check your rate at Upstart.com today. That's Upstart.com. Loans are made by Upstart Lending Partners. Loan terms will be determined based on credit, income, and other information provided in your application. Not all applicants will be approved.
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource, proud to be your home for Ohio State athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
All Buckeyes all the time. You're welcome. This is the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
Buckeye Show, Tito DeVier, Bodie with you. CBS Sports put out something earlier in the year, I think it was like right after the draft, or they put out the top 100 players in college football. And Buckeyes obviously on that list. Quinton Junkins, the running back, checked in at number 12. Caleb Downs was at number 19. You had Jack Sawyer at 38. Emeka Egbuka at 39. So that's a few guys right there at the start of it. You also had Travion Henderson checked in at 51 on that list. So a lot of Buckeyes. Denzel Burke, 81. I'm trying to think who else on that list. Seth McLaughlin, the new center, he was at 92. So there's a few guys on the list. Anyway, then they came out now. This was just, I believe, today. And they did a list of players that weren't in the top 100 but could crack the top 100. And I want to get your thoughts on some of these. The first one, I'd forgotten he was a 5-star. I knew he was a highly recruited player, but Donovan Jackson. Yeah. He's right now ranked at 111. He's somebody who I think could make a jump, and he's such a key player this year on that offensive line with what they're going to try to accomplish.
Yep, returning starter. Obviously had all the wealth of experience of last year. He knows what he needs to get better at this season. I think he's primed for a big leadership role that will produce high-level play, right? Like when you're asked to be a leader and you're on a position where, you got to anchor down this offensive line. And he has a guy like Seth McLaughlin who's had experience. These two guys, these two vets at this college level, I believe, are going to have a great year.
That offensive line unit is just screaming for a leader,
Yeah, it has to be Jackson.
Yeah.
It has to be Jackson.
JTT on the list as well, number 117. And
no, he gets disrespect. I don't like that.
You think he should be in the top 100 already?
I think Tua Maloau is such a talent. I think that just what I saw from him in that Penn State game, and even in the Notre Dame game, that tip ball on that screen, that saved that drive to get the offense back on the field.
Sure.
He makes big plays in big moments, and I think for a guy who's sitting this low, he makes a jump this year in his defense, and I think he is going to be a top 10 pick. He's just too talented, man, and he's a pro's pro. He will have a great year, and I think he should kind of feel slighted by some of the disrespect on these preseason list.
I got to believe when offenses are preparing for Ohio State, they've got to highlight him out and say, like, this is a guy we've got to account for every single play.
You know what I mean? Him play nasty. But in saying that, I want to see an attitude from him this year.
Sure.
I want to see him throw guys down. I want to see his sack dance.
Yeah.
I want to see him do everything as far as being a leader and just making those big plays. But I feel the disrespect for him at 117. I don't like that.
Right behind him is Tyleik Williams at 118. Another guy who, and it says he's a bit undersized in the interior, plays with great technique, and is excellent in movement and games on a stacked Buckeye front. And I agree. I think he's going to have a huge leap this year. I think that this whole defense, it's just like you could list almost anybody on the defense making a huge leap because they're all going to do it.
Yeah. Cody Simon nowhere?
Let me get down to that. I don't think he was on that list. Will Howard was 128. on the list, which is, again, critical for him and for this Ohio State team to if Ohio State's going to go places, they're going to need a big year out of him. And obviously the offensive line plays into that as well, and so does Quinshon and Travion Henderson, who we talked about before. But Howard's another guy, who's got a great opportunity to make a jump. I don't think that's all the Ohio State ones were on there. Donovan Jackson was on there, JTT, Williams, Will Howard, and
Junkins and Henderson.
They were on the top. The top 100. Yeah, these are the ones on the bottom. Yeah, these are the ones that didn't make it. They say could make a jump, but I love things like this. And when you look at it, with all these Ohio State guys on this list, and even in the top 200, and I want to ask you a question. But also, we talked earlier when we played the Lathan Ransom sound about the transition to Jim Knowles, and I'm curious in your career, at Ohio State and elsewhere, high school even, you can talk about that, but how important was it for you to have a solid relationship with the offensive coordinator? How important was that for you, and how do you foster that relationship with your OC?
I think fostering that relationship with your OC comes on the practice field and in the film room more than anything. I think, there's a personal level to where you got to get to know somebody and know what they're thinking, but anything in football happens on the practice field, building that trust with the quarterback, building that trust to be in that 1 to 2, 3 primary reads. And I think when you're doing those things in practice every single day, stacking great days, you're building that relationship with the offensive coordinator to say, hey, I'm going to throw this in the script, see how he does. He answered. Throw this today, throw that. Hey, we're going to throw 4 straight plays at you. And if you answer, it's a great opportunity to build that trust. And I think that's how you foster a relationship is on the field.
Yeah, I get that vibe from the defensive players. They talk about Knowles, and one of the things I've always been impressed about with Knowles since he got here, and Ryan Day does the same thing. But Jim Knowles basically come out. He said that, look, if we don't execute, that's on me. If a player makes a mistake, he came out and said up front, if a player makes a mistake, that's on me. If they do great things, that's all them. But if a player does something wrong or makes a bad read, whatever it is, he said that's always on me. And like he said, like he's going to take the bullets for that every time. And I think that does a lot to help him get the support and get the buy-in from the roster.
Yeah, and I think that mindset is you're not going to be on the field unless I trust you to. Right? Like I placed you in this position. Right. I wanted, this is what I asked of you, and this is your responsibility in this play. And I think when you have that mindset as a defensive, offensive coordinator, you're really in tune with the personnel side. Like what are his strengths? What are his weaknesses?
Right.
Within this defense, within this responsibilities, how can I use his strengths to help us and not his weaknesses to hurt us? So from his mindset, I love that idea of it's on me if I put your strengths and your weaknesses in a vulnerable position.
Right.
And it comes back to hurt the unit. I like that idea.
And Ryan Day says the same thing. Ryan Day's got a similar thing too, and I think that helps all these players buy into it when they know the coaches have their backs, and they're not going to sit up there and throw players under the bus if they make mistakes. And I've never heard Ryan Day do it. He said even with Keenholz's play against Missouri, he didn't say it was Keenholz's fault. He said we just didn't have him ready. We didn't have him ready. He didn't say he screwed up, and we know Keenholz had his mistakes he made in that Missouri game, but he couldn't do much with the way the defensive line was coming at him. But he still took it's on the coaching staff that he wasn't ready to be out there playing in that game. They were hoping to have to use him in that capacity, obviously. Yeah. All right, coming next, Ohio State is an underdog in football this year. I'll tell you about that next. The Buckeye Show, 97.1 The Fan.
The only radio station still operating with an active booze cart. I'm drunk right now. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Since 1897, the Byers Auto family of dealerships has been serving Central Ohio's transportation needs. When we first opened our doors, our vehicles were fueled by oats and hay, required saddles, not seatbelts, and had shoes instead of tires. Over 120 years later, Byers Auto is still family-owned and operated. Our goal is to provide the best selection, price, and service in Central Ohio. And it's all on one website, buyersauto.com.
Come see why it's better to buy from Byers.
Byers Auto is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Marathon has some great news about the number 5, so I'm going to say it 5 times in 5 different ways. Join Marathon Rewards and earn up to $5 in rewards on your first visit. Join and earn 5 cents in rewards for every gallon you buy. Join in as little as 5 seconds. Join to make 5 friends jealous. Join and get high fives. It's easy to sign up at the station or go to marathonrewards.com. By joining with your phone number, you are agreeing to receive recurring automated informational marketing SMS/MMS messages from Marathon. Consent not required for purchase. Messaging and data rates may apply.
Hi, I'm Gene Smith, Senior Vice President and Director of Athletics. Ohio State Athletics and Cardinal Health know how important diversity, equity, and inclusion are to the success of our community, employees, and student athletes. And we believe an equitable culture creates a community that attracts and retains the very best. Visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com/Buckeye-inclusion to learn more and join us as we educate and celebrate the value of diversity and inclusion.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offers a variety of options and pricing that will meet your needs. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour of Ohio Stadium today.
The Fan is your home for NBA playoff action. Catch every game of the conference finals and NBA finals on The Fan and ESPN Columbus. How does one listen to such magical things? On the Fan app, silly. Download the 97.1 The Fan app today. Do it.
Grab life by the chicken fingers and savor the day with hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers, crispy crinkle-cut fries, buttery Texas toast, and that secret cane sauce that makes everything that much better.
Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Right now during Jeep 4x4 season, well-qualified lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2024 Jeep Compass Limited 4x4 for $379 a month for 42 months with $3,837 due at signing. Tax, title, license extra. No security deposit required. Call 1-888-925-JEEP for details. Requires dealer contribution and lease through Stellantis Financial Services. Extra charge for miles over 35,000. Not all customers will qualify. Residency restrictions apply. Take delivery by 6/3/2024. Jeep is a registered trademark.
Now at UDF, buy 3 everyday favorites with UDrive Plus to quickly stack an extra 20 cents in gas savings. That includes Monster Energy and Red Bull and Gatorade and Body Armor. And that adds up. UDF, made for you. Specially marked products with an opted-in UDrive account.
Hi, I'm Lauren and I work for Meijer. People always ask, why do I shop there? It's because I can get great quality and value in one stop. Like this week's hottest deals on locally grown asparagus and select cuts of pork. Plus, I can earn 50 points per gallon of gas pumped at any Meijer Express through June 1st with M-Perks. Meijer has all I need in just one stop, and the same low Meijer prices in-store and online. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. I've been talking about High Bank whiskey for a while now, and I'm not alone. This just in. High Bank Distillery Co. is the most awarded distillery in America at the 2024 San Francisco World Spirits Competition. This is the largest spirits competition in the world, and High Bank is dominating. And we've got the best. It's right here in town. So the next time you're looking for a pour of the good stuff, stop by your local liquor store to grab a bottle, or stop into their 2 restaurant locations at Gahanna and Grandview. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination, where every segment is another Buckeye surprise. You've got the Buckeye Show.
Buckeye Show, Tito DeVier, Bodie with you. Here it's late o'clock. On the money after that. The Buckeye surprise for me was how well DeVier was able to rattle off all those number 2s that played for Ohio State. Bodie, could you do that with your Fighting Irish?
Too.
I know you did miss one, but you got to. Could you, like, I gave you a number for Notre Dame, a significant number, or you just gave me a significant number. Could you rattle off a bunch of guys who wore that number?
I don't think so. We've recently discovered I'm pretty good about remembering old scores, but I think that's where the line is drawn in the sand.
That's where it ends right there.
That's how I remember phone numbers. And number, like, when you're calling.
Oh, I do the same thing.
I'll be like, oh, Michael Vick, Brett Favre.
Yep, I do that too. I do it also. Yeah. When I'm remembering a number, I'll say, or if I remember like a passcode or something, what's that? That's Pete Rose, Johnny Bench, Joe Montana, or something like that. I do it. Like that's how I'll remember certain things. It's not my passcode. I'm just saying it. That's what I do. I'll do the same thing. Yes, if I try to remember the last 4 digits of someone's phone number.
Crabtree. 555.
Right.
Yeah.
I saw this from Colin Gay from the Columbus Dispatch, had this in one of his articles. And there's 6 lines out now on DraftKings. So I really should credit DraftKings, but I stole it from Colin Gay's article. Anyway, 6 lines for games are out there right now for Ohio State football this season. We talked about the first one last night, and Tyvis did it for like his hashtag Buckeye thing, but Ohio State is listed as a 50.5-point favorite against Akron August 31st. I said I think Ohio State will cover that. Tyvis said he thinks it'll be more like a 35-point game. What do you think right now? Do you think Ohio State will just put the gas on the whole time and send a message, or will they end up letting off the gas a little bit when they get a big lead?
Yeah, I don't think we cover that. That's a crazy.
That's a big number. Yeah.
For you to be in Akron's locker room and training camp, going into your second two-a-day being like, dang, we're supposed to get popped by 50.
Right.
Should I even go out to practice? I don't know. I that's a huge number. Huge number.
I want to see, though. I'm tired of coaches doing the we're going to show we're going to show them respect by not running the score up. No. I'm telling you, I want to see our second, third, and fourth string guys out there running the offense like it's a big game. Mm-hmm. I want to see quarterbacks get meaningful reps. I want to see the freshman running backs coming in. I want to see them get meaningful reps and not just go out there and have to hand the ball off for 3 downs and then punt it away because you're up 63-0 already. That's one thing that bothers me the most, DeVier, is when coaches do that, where they let off because they don't want to embarrass the other team.
So you love Urban.
Yeah, I love the way he did it, yeah. I love the way he did it, yes. Yeah. I think you score as much as you can every game.
I love that. I mean, and that's just like the BCS era.
Right.
That was like not the secret, but the best recipe.
Yeah.
To keeping your BCS points high is scoring as many points as possible and preventing them from, getting high scores too. So when you're blowing those teams out, those types of wins help. But Tito, I mean, I just think in the era we're entering this year, with the longest playoffs in history, the longest college football season in NCAA history, I don't know if that's worth it. Having a guy out there, having your depth out there really pushing themselves in a position where their health is at risk. Because if one of them get hurt and you're going in post-bowl game,
right,
and you need that depth, just don't want to risk it. It's tough. I get it. I get it from the fans' perspective and from the media's perspective where you're coming from. But just from a coach's perspective, I can see why you can let off the gas a little bit.
But like if they're up 49-0 at halftime against Akron, then I say, okay, fine, sit the starters. The starters. But when I bring on Devin Brown, or if I bring in Keenholz or Noland or whoever, or saying, we are still going to attack the defense the same way.
Right.
Because I think last year especially, we saw Ohio State not getting Keenholz any significant reps in the regular season hurt them dramatically in the bowl game.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying just go out there and hand off the ball. I'm saying I want my quarterback out there making the same reads that Will Howard made, and I want my defense still playing, even if it's a second string, third string, whatever, play as aggressively. Blitz like you always were going to, and I don't care about the score. Like as players, did you feel disrespected? I know you were probably never. I'm trying to think. Were you ever on the end of a bad blowout? You probably were. What was there? God, this is something that's probably a crappy question to ask you. What's the worst you ever got beat, DeVier?
The worst was probably Mark Sanchez, Clay Matthews, Brian Cushing, USC.
Okay.
My freshman year.
That score was that the 38?
Yeah, their starters played the whole game.
Did that bother you?
No, I didn't play much.
Okay.
Yeah, no. I mean, I got in a few formations.
Right, but I wonder though, as a team though, did that piss the team off that USC left the starters in there as long as they did?
No, but it was one of those games to where, that 38 wasn't like we were still trying to drive and still trying to score. It wasn't like how, white flag, get the second string in. It wasn't one of those games. It was just a dominant, performance on their end to where, in the fourth quarter, they had their starters in and they were going to run the ball and kill the clock. It was just one of those kind of games. Like, I can't remember ever really getting blown out.
Yeah. Better question for Tyvus. He's probably suffered a few blowouts. Ohio State is laying 24 against Iowa here on October 5th. And Iowa's got a new OC this year, so there might be some changes there. They've got some new faces on offense also, but we know Iowa's defense is always pretty stout. Iowa's one of those teams that I feel like will sneak up on Ohio State in previous years also. Like, there's games where it's like, so 24 seems like a big number to me.
For the Iowa game?
Yeah, for the Iowa game.
Iowa is one of those teams, man. They just come out of nowhere with these first and second round draft picks on defense.
Right, yeah.
Wait, who is this guy? And he can play ball, and he plays in the league for a long time. Yeah, 24, I think we cover that. I think we get rolling, and I think that they don't score many points. So us scoring 24 points, I think we can get that.
Ohio State getting a point at Oregon October 12th.
I'll take that.
And you love that. I know you mentioned earlier about
take that bet.
About Oregon not knowing what they're going to be facing.
I would take that bet. That line is going to move after the second and third game, after first two games.
Yeah, it's Ohio State's got they got the Michigan State game right before Oregon. Oregon's got the extra day of rest because they're playing on Friday before that, I believe. So they'll get an extra day to prepare for that. I like Ohio State in that one too. I think that I can't wait to watch that game. That's gonna be so much fun. They haven't announced obviously game time for it yet. We know it won't be the big noon game. I wouldn't think out there against Oregon. I think I've already said it wouldn't be the big noon game, but we'll see what time they actually kick that game off. Buckeyes land 25.5, hosting Nebraska October 26th. I never believe in Nebraska, and they, Dylan Raio's out there at quarterback. I mean, imagine the reception he'll get here from Ohio State fans.
We're gonna love that one.
And I'm not saying I'm all about booing kids, and he's an adult now, but I'm saying but the way he came in here though, and he said he's going to recruit players for Ohio State. He's going to get guys here with him and all this stuff, and then shortly after that goes to Georgia, and then goes to Nebraska after that. Any guy that it's got a lot of a Tate Martell vibe for me.
He's a portal baby.
Yeah.
Portal baby.
Ohio State laying 3 at Penn State November 2nd. Feels like that'll be the whiteout game this year, I would think, for Penn State. Always fun. And
I love playing that place. That place, Beaver Stadium. They're getting a renovation too. That place, it's going to be crazy.
Bunch of crazy money they're dumping into that stadium. Yeah. It's an amazing venue too. Like, it's just because you see it like almost when you go to see, when you're driving into Happy Valley and you can kind of see the stadium up there. It's pretty cool. It's
not much it's not much to be happy about in Happy Valley.
No, there's not a lot Happy Valley. No. That is the school. The school is the town.
Yes.
That's all there is to it.
Yes.
And then Ohio State laying 10 at home against Michigan November 30th. That is another game. I hope Ohio State does not let off the gas.
Oh, Tito.
10's a good number. I'd love to take Ohio State minus 10 in that one.
When Day gets that chance, he is going to let it. And I honestly want to see flea flickers.
Yeah, see it all.
I want to see a hook and ladder. I don't even care. I want to see, fake punts.
Yeah.
I'm here for it all.
A called fake punt, not the punter deciding to run a fake without we can't do that.
We fixed those issues this offseason.
We fixed that this offseason. I don't want to see that again. But yes, I'm all empty the bag of tricks and all that stuff.
Yeah.
First play of the game, do a play action pass and throw a bomb. First play of the game, I don't care where you've got the ball.
Yeah.
Play action pass and just go after him.
Yeah, you run a sluggo on Will Johnson. Because last year he jumped Marvin's slant.
That's right, he did that right. Yeah, it's a bad pass too.
Well, just run a sluggo.
Yeah, just do that. Yeah, too.
Let him read 3-step drop. Boom.
All right, coming up next, top of the hour, we got a Sports Center update from our man Bodie, and he'll also hit us up with the college football pulse. We'll do that next. Buckeye Show, 97.1 The Fan.
We've been your Jackets flagship station since day one. All the goals, all the action, all the memories. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Common Man here. Let me tell you about my new friends, Sell for 1% Realtors. This is a new company for me. They were interested in working with me, so they went for a CAT scan. When that passed, I needed to meet the family to see what they were all about, if they were a good fit. And when I say meet the family, I mean it. Sell for 1% is totally family run right here in Columbus. The premise is almost too good to be true. They sell your house for 1% commission, not 6. That's it. And they do everything you'd expect from the 6% people. This is full service, not a discount service. Here's how they do it. Technology has made the realtor's job easier, from taking photos to signing documents on your phone, but their prices have remained the same, even though the realtor's not putting in the same time they used to. Sell for 1% passes the savings on to you because they know you're going to be impressed with the service and then tell people about it. On average, customers save over $10,000 in commissions. I didn't know about these guys 10 years ago. Don't be stupid like me and pay more than you have to. If you're selling, give my guys a call. 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
Fun to get blindsided. That's why you need to know what's coming in Ohio Medicaid.
Championship quarterback Cardale Jones.
Recent changes in Ohio Medicaid could impact you. If your information isn't up to date, you can lose your health insurance. Call the Ohio Department of Medicaid so you don't have to scramble to stay insured.
Call 800-324-8680. A public health message from CareSource.
That's what I call forward progress.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a Buckeye, it's the action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce. And jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Jimmy walks up to the line. His credit card debt is calling a blitz. He signals to upstart.com for an audible. Final play. Pike. Jimmy drops back. In a flash, he cuts over to a streaking upstart.com with a no-cost rate check on a personal loan. He's wide open. An easy toss for Jimmy by finding a great rate in minutes. He applies, he's approved, and touchdown.
Tackle your credit card debt with a personal loan. Check your rate at upstart.com today. That's upstart.com. Loans are made by Upstart Lending Partners. Loan terms will be determined based on credit, income, and other information provided in your application. Not all applicants will be approved.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good evening. I'm Buddy Wells. Starting with baseball, the Reds dropped their second straight to the Cardinals today, losing that one 5-3. Next up for Cincinnati, they're off tomorrow. Then they'll play the first of a 3-game set against the Cubs in Chicago starting on Friday. As for the Guardians, they play the last of a 3-game set against the Rockies in Colorado today. First pitch is at 8:40. Logan Allen is on the bump in that one. Cleveland has won 10 of their last 11 games heading into tonight. In the Stanley Cup playoffs, we have Game 4 of the West Finals tonight. The Stars and Oilers meet in Edmonton. Face-off is at 8:30. Dallas leads the series 2-1. They'll play Game 5 of the East Finals tomorrow night in New York. That series is even at 2 games apiece between the Rangers and Panthers. And the NBA playoffs resume tomorrow night as the Mavs and Timberwolves will play one another in Game 6 of the West Finals in Minnesota. Dallas leads the series 3-1. Boston awaits the winner in the NBA Finals. Breaking sports news when it happens right here on The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
It's time for the College Football Pulse on the Buckeye Show.
Sponsored by Carpenter Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric. Need heating, cooling, plumbing, or electric?
Yep.
Call a carpenter.
All right. Bodie, I didn't ask you, how are you today, my friend?
Tito, I am fantastic. Still
Would you
battling
tell me if
this
you
cold.
weren't?
Well, I'm still battling this cold, but I feel like I'm closer to the end than the beginning, so I'll take it.
Is it allergies or cold, Bodie?
Just a cold, yeah.
Just cold?
Sore throat. Still can't breathe through my nose. That's pretty frustrating.
So I should stop asking you questions to make you talk with your sore throat.
It's all right. Honestly, I'm kind of more so over the sore throat. That was like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It was pretty rough. So.
All right. What do you got for us, bud?
All right, guys, we'll start with this one. In his weekly mailbag with The Athletic, Stuart Mandel was asked this question. What do you think are the six most in particular? I don't know why the reader wanted 6 in particular, but they asked 6. 6 most prestigious jobs in college football. And here was Stewart's answer from 1 to 6. I want to get your guys' thoughts on this list here. If anybody should be in, should be out. 1 to 6, Alabama, number 1. Notre Dame, number 2. Michigan, number 3. USC, number 4. Oklahoma, number 5. And the Buckeyes come in at number 6.
This guy's an idiot.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Who's this guy?
Stuart Mandel. Mandel's great. And by the way, subscribe to The Athletic. Mandel's great. He does a mailbag every week.
Most desirable jobs?
No, most prestigious.
Prestigious, yeah.
And he said prestigious and best aren't necessarily the same. He said that in this article, that prestigious and best are not necessarily the same. He's just going with the 6 most prestigious. Now, we mentioned Alabama. He's talking about how you've got the same job that Bear Bryant and Nick Saban had. That's a prestigious job, right?
Number 2.
Number 2 with Notre Dame. And he says, Newt Rockne and Frank Leahy were there. And still,
Marcus Freeman.
There you go.
To me, Notre Dame is down on the list, Bodie. No disrespect. I'm sorry.
I think Notre Dame lost prestige for me
when they hired Charlie Weiss and Brian Kelly.
Go back even further than that.
Brian Kelly's pretty good, honestly.
When they hired
Lou Holtz,
Jerry Faust, they hired a high school coach.
Yep.
He replaced, was it Dan Devine he replaced? Or who he replaced that? I don't know if it was Devine or not, but I think it was Devine.
I think so.
Yeah. And they hired a high school coach. And Jerry Faust had great success at Akron. Fantastic high school football coach for sure, down at Cincinnati Moeller. But that's when it lost some prestige. I know they got it back by getting Holtz, but they had a string of bad hires. I like the Willingham hire. I thought he deserved more time there, but the Charlie Weiss one was a bad one for sure. And then George O'Leary, right? The one that they hired and then had to fire him because he lied on his resume.
Yeah.
The number 3 on this was Michigan. 4 USC, 5 Oklahoma, 6 Ohio State. What problem do you have with those 3 through 6?
I think Oklahoma should be off.
Okay.
And what was 5 and 6, Bodie? I'm sorry.
5 was Oklahoma, 6 was Ohio State, 3 was Michigan, 4 was USC.
Wait, we said USC?
USC is 4.
They were number 4.
Yeah, I think Texas needs to be on there at some point. I just think Texas, you think about football, that type of state, prestige to me, the Longhorns, just the whole look, Austin, Texas. I think Texas is a prestigious job.
Okay. So you would take USC off there. Or you take Oklahoma off.
I would take Oklahoma off. For Texas.
Okay, now let's be honest here. Let's just be completely honest. Is Michigan a more prestigious job than Ohio State?
No. I just think when you leave Ohio State, unless it's the pinnacle of your career. Like you don't need to coach again. Like Ryan Day is making $9 million a year. Like, do you need to coach again? Can you reach another height?
Right.
Is there a better job than this? No.
I'd almost have Ohio State and Michigan like right next to each other. For me, it's like the Magic versus Bird argument too. It's like I think they're intertwined on this one. Now, Ohio State, what I've loved about, they have not made a catastrophic coaching hire. Since they hired Woody Hayes, he was here for the longest time. Earl Bruce had success here, wasn't great. Had him in the playing for the national championship his first year, and did okay. The Cooper hire, although look, say what you want about John Cooper and his success or lack of success against Michigan in bowl games, he changed the way Ohio State recruits.
He recruited freaks.
Yeah, he went all over the country.
He opened up Ohio State's recruit. Exactly what you're saying. Yeah. He made it a national place, and he recruited freaks.
And then after Cooper, obviously we had Tressel. Can't say anything bad about that one. The 1 year of Fickle, which I'm not going to put on Fickle, it was a fractured year for a number of reasons. And then Urban was very successable, obviously.
Yep.
And Days won, 87% of his games, whatever the number is, something ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Michigan's had bad hires in there. That has hurt their prestige, I think. The Rich Rod thing, the Brady Hoke. Yeah. You know, they've had some questionable hires in there that I think hurt their prestige. I'd probably put Ohio State ahead of Michigan, unbiased. I agree with you on USC.
On the Buckeye Show.
Right, I know. The Buckeye Show. I got the school that keeps us in business. Other than that, though, yes. But I think, no, I was trying to be honest. I think that Ohio State's probably a little higher than Michigan on that. I'm with you on USC. And, yeah, I think I'd go with Texas over Oklahoma as well. That's a good call by you on Texas. I didn't think about them. All right,
is there anybody else that comes to mind? I feel like that's it, though. That's the 7. If you threw Texas in there.
Yeah, I think that's probably the one. I don't think we can put, like... Florida State in there.
Yeah.
They had Bowden, and that's the one that really did it.
Yeah, that's the
prestigious is a strong word, Bodie.
Yeah, it's also a very I'm trying to think of the best way to put. You could take it a lot of different directions.
Sure, right? Yeah.
When you start ranking best jobs, you can always put them in tiers, right? I think it's always a little silly when it's like, this is definitely 1, this is 2, this is 3. It's like, well, you can look at the top 3, 4 schools in terms of best job, and they're pretty even. Prestige, though, is it kind of, does it mean winning? Does it mean tradition? It's probably a little bit of everything, but everybody's opinion on that can kind of mean different things.
I feel like most of the schools we talked about just now is there's a certain blue collar mentality for that. Whereas I put Miami and Florida State and Florida kind of the same thing. I think it's they don't have the histories of these schools we're talking about. They've
great places to coach, but just
great place to coach, great environment, but they don't have the same history. Miami's been great since Kosar and Schnellenberger and all. They've had some down years too, but that's been when you go from Schnellenberger to Jimmy Johnson. They've had some great coaches there, but I don't put them on the same level as these other schools.
With you.
I also think, just real quick here. Sorry, I'm trying to flip this thing over. And I also think in terms of my opinion, at least, prestige, something that comes to mind for me is just you could go to somebody who doesn't follow college football, and I feel like if you just mention some of these names, they could probably tell you something about them.
Oh, yeah.
Not the all in-depth of the roster and everything, but if you're just hey, what are your thoughts on Alabama football? People could probably tell you at least about Nick Saban and et cetera, Urban Meyer.
Sure.
I don't know. Marcus Freeman's probably not on that level yet, but it's Notre Dame. People know Notre Dame, Ohio State, Michigan, USC, et cetera. All right, next up here, guys, we will move on to this one right here. Speaking of USC, one of the biggest games on the Week 1 slate for this upcoming season has LSU facing Southern Cal on Sunday night, September 1st in Las Vegas. So pretty big game there on the Week 1 slate. They have their own night on that Sunday night there. That game almost didn't happen, though, as USC reportedly tried to get out of the game for nearly the last 2 years. Combined there, they've been trying to get out of that game. The Trojans even offered LSU some other opponents for the Tigers to play. LSU said, no, we want to play you guys. And I assume this has something to do with USC joining the Big Ten. They do play a pretty tough schedule here. Let me get it pulled up real quick. So they open with...
should have scheduled that game.
Yeah. They open with LSU, of course, like I just said there. They go to Michigan. They host Wisconsin. They host Penn State. They go to Washington. We'll see how Washington is after losing their coach and whatnot this year. Right. And then they host Notre Dame. So that's pretty... I assume that's why they would want to get out of that LSU game. I can't really think of another reason why. But pretty tough scheduling there for the Trojans this season. And I hate this. I hate the fact that they tried to want to get out of it. I mean, with the 12-team playoff and whatnot, they can afford a loss. Also, it's good for the fans. Just play tough games.
God, and think of the fans who've been lining up to get these tickets and wanted to go to these games. I mean, it's in Vegas. It's fantastic.
Absolutely. You can
Let's
drive.
take USC off the prestigious list now. Let's move them down. This is now they're not prestigious anymore.
When you're too coward to play LSU and schedule the big games, you get kicked off.
I mean, do you think we'll see a 3-loss team in the playoff this year?
Absolutely.
You think we will for sure? I'd be to see your Big Ten team. Yeah.
Based off
I would say one.
Yeah.
There might be a 3-loss team in there. So, yeah. I was going to say, so losing 2 games is not a death knell at all in this. Yeah. And look at their schedule. It's a tough schedule. If they lose 2 games on this schedule, I would say they probably deserve to be in the playoff. When you're playing LSU on the neutral site at Michigan, hosting Penn State, like you said, the
hosting Wisconsin and Notre Dame.
Yes.
Whew. I mean, yeah, if you lost 2 games, you're still beating 2 of LSU, Michigan, Wisconsin, Penn State,
Notre Dame.
Washington, Notre Dame.
Yeah,
that's pretty.
Yeah, you're only losing 2 of those. I think it's a wimpy move, man. I can't believe US. They probably saw the writing on the wall when they knew all the guys they were going to lose. That they losing Caleb Williams and whatnot. That's going in there with potentially an inexperienced quarterback, and it's a wimpy move, though.
USC is fascinating to me. I think it'll be just really interesting to see if Lincoln Riley can, for the first time basically in his head coaching career, one, field a defense. Not a good defense, just a defense. 11 guys who play assignment football, who know how to tackle. And just heading into year 1 of the Big Ten there, it's tough, man. It's a different style. USC, they went 7-5. The Pac-12 was good last year, but 7-5 in the Pac-12. You lose Caleb Williams, who was a superstar, total stud, and now you're going to try to rebuild it. We'll see. Last one here, guys. We are moving closer to having a major change to the recruiting calendar, as a June signing period is expected to be added. The winter one is expected to move up to early December this year, and I don't think that's official quite yet, but it's expected to happen for this winter. That, of course, makes sense because we don't want the recruiting, that signing period in December to fall in week one of the college football playoff.
Right.
Teams are a little busy that week, but nevertheless, focusing more so on the June one here, I don't know. I think this is kind of a bad idea, personally. I think it's just going to cause more of a mess because we're going to have guys signing in June.
Right.
And I don't know. I think it's just a messy situation where, for a couple things. One, I worry that recruits could sign in June and all of a sudden maybe be skipping their senior year because it's like, why do I need to play if I already have it locked up? Which I would understand their point of view, but I don't think that's good for high school football. I don't think that's really good for most of the players. I also don't think, look, guys get over-recruited. It happens. It's not always a pleasant situation, but now it's like our school's it'll be interesting to see, like, does a school like Ohio State, they always know they could probably fall back on some of the lower level players.
Right.
In terms of Ohio players.
Right.
But is that something that maybe they can't do as well now because it's like, well, if you offer them and they commit in May and they're ready to sign in June, well, I don't know. It's an interesting
I don't see the benefit of doing it this way.
I like it.
You do like it, okay.
I like it. I just like it from the perspective, it's the best time for coaches in terms of free time, right? Like
that, no question about that.
It's pre-training camp, post-spring ball, and if you really get to a recruit, you get to their house, you really lock them in, you're getting this recruit to commit off of potential. You don't need a game to woo them. You don't need an official visit to woo them. Nobody's on campus during this time. This guy really wants to come to your school based off of that recruiting time. And just to lock him up and to say, hey, coming into the season, I don't have to worry about you going on a recruiting trip to Oregon, getting a travel check and changing your mind.
Yeah.
I like this time period.
My head just spins anymore with this stuff. We've got early signing, early commitments, verbal commitments, then you've got, the transfer portal opening, transfer portal, all these different things that go on. Honestly,
so many coaches leave now, like in December, which like if you have kids signing back in June, and then half the coaching staff or all of the coaching staff leaves in December, I almost can't help but wonder if we'd be better off just going back to February. Just one sign.
That's it.
In February.
I think so too.
Or maybe like kids sign whenever. If a kid commits in January of his junior year and he says, I know I'm going to this school, you can let him sign. That's probably still messy too, because once again, if the coaches get let go, they're probably going to want to leave. But I don't know. It seems like it's either just let them sign whenever maybe and just go like all in that direction, or go back to how it was before and just first Wednesday in February. But it's probably something there's no perfect solution.
I don't think there is,
with how college football is now.
I'm just tired of also doing the stupid offers to like 9-year-olds and stuff that they do just for fun.
We could probably cut out.
We could get rid of that.
Well.
That's
like
just
maybe
stupid.
Have to be enrolled in high school, or maybe play an X amount of snaps on the varsity team.
Right, you have to actually be out of diapers before you can get an offer. Thank you for that, Bodie. Great job, as always. Coming up next, we got more odds for another Power 4 conference. Sounds weird to say that in football this year. Could a team claim its first ever SEC title? We'll tell you about that next. Buckeye Show, 97.1 The Fan.
Unlike your deadbeat uncle, we'll never leave you stranded in a ditch when you were 6. This promo may have been a touch too specific. The Fan.
Get a great deal on select Kubota equipment, the #1 rated tractor brand for durability and owner experience in the U.S. The versatile lineup is built to help you make the most of your land. Right now at participating dealers, get a Kubota compact tractor for 0 down, 0% APR for 84 months, plus save up to $800 on qualifying implements. Now through October 31st. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com/disclaimers for full disclaimer.
Hello, I'm Gene Smith, Senior Vice President and Wolf Foundation Endowed Athletic Director at The Ohio State University. In partnership with AEP, Donatos, Huntington, Kroger, The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, and 10 TV, Ohio State Athletics strives to inspire the community to make a positive impact on children and families in the great state of Ohio through our Buckeyes Care initiative. Show and share your support in the community by using the hashtag Buckeyes care.
Jimmy walks up to the line. His credit card debt is calling a blitz. He signals to upstart.com for an audible. Final play. Pike. Jimmy drops back. In a flash, he cuts over to a streaking upstart.com with a no-cost rate check on a personal loan. He's wide open. An easy toss for Jimmy by finding a great rate in minutes. He applies, he's approved, and touchdown.
Tackle your credit card debt with a personal loan. Check your rate at upstart.com today. That's upstart.com. Loans are made by Upstart Lending Partners. Loan terms will be determined based on credit, income, and other information provided in your application. Not all applicants will be approved.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offers a variety of options and pricing that will meet your needs. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour of Ohio Stadium today.
Hi, I'm Gene Smith, Senior Vice President and Director of Athletics. Ohio State Athletics and Cardinal Health know how important diversity, equity, and inclusion are to the success of our community, employees, and student athletes. And we believe an equitable culture creates a community that attracts and retains the very best. Visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com/Buckeye-inclusion to learn more and join us as we educate and celebrate the value of diversity and inclusion.
If you're obsessed with fantasy sports and gambling things, we have the slightly above average radio show for you. On the Money with Dave Biddle and Scotty Vegas.
Presented by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
Wednesday night at 8 on The Fan.
Another day is here, and you're ready for it. What to wear? Check. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Check. Planning for what's next and how to save for it? That's where Bank of America can help. For your financial to-dos, Bank of America has experts ready to help get you closer to your goals. Get started at one of our Central Ohio financial centers or 24/7 in our mobile banking app. Find a location near you at bankofamerica.com/talktous. What would you like the power to do? Mobile banking requires downloading the app and is only available for select devices. Message and data rates may apply. Bank of America N.A., member FDIC.
It's lunchtime at Tim Hortons, and we're serving up a special deal just for you. Our new $5.99 lunch deal includes your choice of any lunch sandwich and a side of crunchy kettle chips. Because what's lunch without a little crunch? And the sandwich choice is all yours, like a ham and Swiss, Chipotle chicken wrap, BLT, and more, made to order just the way you like it. Tim Hortons' new lunch deal. Simple, delicious, and just $5.99. Now that's a good deal. Only at your neighborhood Tim's. U.S. only. Price and participation vary. Terms apply.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Plenty of clouds around, breezy and cool with some showers and a few thunderstorms roaming around on this Wednesday. Temperatures in the mid to upper 60s. Overnight we'll fall back down to the 40s with rain out and mainly clear skies back in. Plenty of sunshine, light winds, and a little milder on Thursday with highs in the low 70s. With your Doppler 10 forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
Where Timmy Hall can start swooning over Aaron Kraft any second.
Because of the YouTube thing. It's like, why all of a sudden you wearing like nicer shirts and shorts? And it's like, honey, look, you know I'm here. Go to YouTube and check us out.
Like I'm on TV. Like, that's how I know you don't watch the show.
That's how I know. My mom watches it and insults me. I don't know why my wife can't do the same.
So how did it come out? Like
she went to give me a hug.
Was it Jeffrey?
There wasn't with my mom or with my wife. Okay, my wife.
Which one?
Okay, my wife. No, I gave her a hug before I left for work, and she said, "Why are you always looking so nice all of a sudden now? You got something going on?" And I told her what it was, and it was all resolved. She was laughing because I think she knows deep down there is zero chance. I've got no game. Like I better not lose this one. because
Can't mess this one up.
there's nothing on the horizon for me. This is it. And I love her. There, said that too. Yeah. All right. SEC 2024 is going to be a lot different. And I saw this on CBS Sports. Here are the odds, the title odds to win the SEC for all 16 teams. Georgia, plus 185. Texas, plus 310. Then it's a jump to Ole Miss, plus 650. Alabama, plus 950. LSU, plus 1,000. Tennessee is plus 1,100, plus 1,500 Missouri, plus 2,000 for A&M, plus 4,000 Oklahoma, 5,000 plus 5,000 for Auburn, plus 9,000 Kentucky, plus 10,000 South Carolina, plus 12,000 Florida, plus 20,000 Arkansas, plus 30,000 Mississippi State, plus 50,000 Vanderbilt. Now, I don't expect anybody except for Texas and Georgia to be competing in that SEC championship game this year. There's a reason a big drop-off. I know Ole Miss is excited, but they just seem to be far and away. I know the odds state this too, but like the clear class of the SEC.
Yeah. No Oklahoma.
Oklahoma's down there at plus 4,000. They're like the 10th best one on here.
Yeah.
Ninth or 10th. They're 10th.
No faith in Jalen Milroe. In his growth as a player.
It's such a tough conference, though. That's why I think like that's what's going to be the difference for Oklahoma is I think they're a fine team, and I think they should have stayed where they were at. But this year, now granted the money's going to do it. But this year they're hosting their first 4 games are all home games. They do host Tennessee as the 4th one. They have to travel to Auburn, host Texas. They do have to play at Ole Miss. They also play at Missouri, and they host Alabama, and then close out at LSU. I'm like, we looked at that with some of the schedules earlier, like with USC and whatnot, and that's one of the things I love about college football this year and going forward. DeVier with these conferences the way they are is there are fewer cupcakes on your schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, it's happening. These matchups that we want, it's happening just by, it's natural selection. Right. People are just falling off, and it's going to happen. Every week is going to be about like the NFL.
It used to be like 1 or 2 good games a week, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be multiple games that are like must see every week. Texas playing at Michigan, Texas and Oklahoma, Texas hosting Georgia. Texas hosting Florida. Then they get to play at A&M again, which they get to renew that rivalry. There's like those kind of, like that's the way it is in the SEC and Big Ten now with how many great games are going to be out there for these teams to play now that are so much different than what used to be maybe 1 or 2 tough games on your schedule. And now it's all changed.
Yes.
So if we took Texas and Georgia off the board, who would be the next team you think has the best chance at winning the SEC?
I just got to have some faith in Jalen Milrose and Kalen DeBoer and them surprising all of these preseason writers who are always wrong.
Alabama's going to be, as much as, Bodie said USC is going to be fascinating. Alabama's going to be fascinating for me this year.
Yeah. See if that business model, that football program model works in the SEC.
That's a lot of pressure
to follow Nick Saban.
I mean, think of what people in Alabama will do if Alabama happened to lose consecutive games this year. Oh, man. I mean, think of what that talent. And I always talk about this with Ohio State, too. Like, what if Ohio State ever had another, like, had a 4-loss season or lost back-to-back games to teams that weren't, like, nationally ranked? Because Ohio State's been through that before. To the Bruce and Cooper years, there were times they would lose a couple of games. I think Bruce lost to Wisconsin and Indiana one year, tied one and lost to the other back when Wisconsin wasn't any good. But Alabama this year, they're at Wisconsin and then host Georgia in the next game. That's a possibility. They could lose 2 in a row right there. They're at Oklahoma and host Auburn at the end of the season in that rivalry game. Mm-hmm. They've got another game they host another time. Here's a 3-game stretch. At Tennessee, host Missouri, at LSU. That Alabama schedule is a gauntlet. Mm-hmm. I wonder how many games Alabama's going to lose this year. I think, like we said, there could be a 3-loss team in the playoff. Alabama could be if they lose 3 in that schedule of games they've got. But the other schools in there, I mean, Missouri's interesting to me also. I don't think they're going to compete for the SEC title, but they've got some talent coming back, and they finished last year, obviously, on a strong note by the way they manhandled Ohio State. That's another team I'm interested in. Texas A&M's doing a rebuild now. It was a B team, no doubt. Nonetheless, though.
Scouts.
But you know the way Missouri's going to look at it, though. Missouri's going to take that as it doesn't matter who they beat. They beat the Scarlet and Gray. They beat Ohio State.
They beat the Gray and Scarlet team.
That game was such a tough one to watch. I can't wait to watch a dominating game again. You know.
Yeah. I don't even remember it. I don't even think it really happened. I didn't think I was really watching that.
Right.
It was just like, is this happening? Yeah. TV off.
That's the most depressing thing is when it's early in the game and you know there's no chance to win. Or it's like third quarter, you know? It's like, I think I started feeling in the late second, early third quarter, I started to feel like, you know what? There's no way in hell they're winning this game. And it wasn't a big blowout at the time either. But
it's one of those games where you're like, do I want to watch this film? No, I don't want to watch this film. And you got to watch it. You got to look in the mirror. It's just a big pimple.
Right.
You got to pop that pimple. You got to get through the film, and you got to watch it, man. But it had to be tough to watch.
That was the first time in a long time that I had that feeling about an Ohio State game. You know?
What's that feeling?
Oh, God. It's so empty. I feel like because I get so excited before the game starts. You get all this hype leading into the game, right? And to have that deflated right away. You know, to have that happen like that. Yeah. It reminded me of the feeling I had when Ohio State, as a 2 seed, the NCAA tournament, lost to Missouri State. Who was it?
Oral Roberts.
Whatever. Yeah. Like, that's how I felt.
Yeah.
So because
that was a good feeling.
I was so pumped for Ohio State to make a run, and then that happens. I was so pumped for Ohio State to have this great showing. I can't wait to see Devin Brown. I can't wait to see how they.
Working on the Buckeye show doesn't help.
No, right. No, it doesn't help out at all. You're right. But, like, that's the kind of feeling it was. And, God, that's the worst feeling as an Ohio State fan when that happens. I felt like in the USC game that we talked about earlier, that kind of thing. Like, I was excited about playing USC and all this, and Ohio State's, and then it doesn't happen. But I've only had that feeling a handful of times in recent years, but that Missouri one was one of them, though. You got a Notre Dame one for us? A game where you felt?
So when you say a feeling, do you mean like going into the game, like right at kickoff, you're like, oh, God, this is going to be
going into I'm excited. I'm excited. I think it's going to be a big game. I think Ohio, like, they're going to win. And then, like, before the game hits the fourth quarter, I even if it's a close game, I know they have no shot.
Yeah, you're just like questioning, like, dang, do I love the right team?
Even if it was like a close game.
Why do I put myself through this pain?
When you're watching the way Missouri took total advantage of Ohio State's offensive line.
Yeah.
And I knew that there was no way that Ohio State was going to win this game.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a few where it's tough because when you say, like, get into the game, like, you know, when we played Clemson in the playoff in 2018.
Right.
I thought we had a shot. I knew we were underdogs. Like, and I was kind of like still like, but we realized how good Trevor Lawrence is, but didn't quite realize how good Trevor Lawrence is. I thought we'd give them a run for their money, and then it just blew open in the second quarter. I knew we weren't going to win, but I thought that would be one where it's like, So I don't know if that's the best qualifier, but
Everett Golson and Florida State. Did that hurt, Natty?
We should have won that game.
Yes.
Like, we got screwed on a offensive pass interference call at the end. Like that one was that was more frustration rather than like that Missouri feeling. So.
Right.
Oh, man, it's been a long time.
Still hurts.
I was just sitting here thinking, like, when's the last time they played Natty? And I was like, ooh, I know that one had this thing.
Yeah, it didn't go well.
Yeah.
All right, coming up next, with all these new conference members, what new rivalries are we looking forward to watching? We'll do that next. Buckeye Show, 97.1 The Fan.
Common Man and T-Bone are idiots. You should listen to them anyway.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
The Fan, Ohio's idiot destination.
Grab life by the chicken fingers and savor the day with hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers, crispy crinkle-cut fries, buttery Texas toast, and that secret cane sauce that makes everything that much better.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love. Hey, it's Anthony here for the Good Feet store. You know, we do a segment on the show every week called Pressure, but that's about sports. What about the pressure your feet endure every day? I know mine did. When I went to the Good Feet store, I learned I was out of line. I joked, I already know that. They said, no, physically, my feet weren't being supported the right way. So when I went to the store on Polaris Parkway, they also have one on Stringtown Road, I took all the time I needed to walk around the store to see what felt and fit the best in my shoes. Once I had them in, my personal arch supports from the Good Feet store, my lower back pain went away. What a feeling. You need to get your free personalized fitting by one of their arch support specialists. For arch supports to be effective, they require a precision fit. That's why Good Feet arch supports are only available at the Good Feet store. You like them? You can wear them home. You have nothing to lose but the pain. So go to goodfeet.com today or go in and try the Good Feet feeling. Comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief, all from the Good Feet store.
Have you heard? There's always more at Speedway, like a big bite hot dog and big gulp drink for only $2.50. We've got what you're in the mood for, and now you can get more with less. Get your big meal deal for only $2.50 with Speedy Rewards. Valid through 1/7/25. Speedway has the right to end this promotion early, plus tax. Participating U.S. stores only. See app for full terms. All rights reserved.
I'm Tiffany, founder of Harlem Pilates. When I couldn't find Pilates in my neighborhood, I started a studio from my studio apartment. Chase Inc. helped me grow from one Pilates studio to 3. Because when you start small, you're going to need some big help.
With the Chase Inc. Business Cash Card, you can earn up to 5% cash back on business essentials, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Cards issued by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank. NA member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Morning Juice.
For Jared Goff to find another home in Detroit and not only survive but thrive there, it's a great winning trade for both organizations, and you don't see that happen very often.
Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Affinity Whole Health.
Weekday mornings at 6. The Fan.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for over 30,000 mouth-watering choices with savings beyond low prices, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. More savings and more inspiring flavors make Kroger worth it every time. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
And right now, 80% lean ground beef in 3-pound rolls is on sale for just $3.49 a pound with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Hello, I'm Gene Smith, Senior Vice President and Wolf Foundation Endowed Athletic Director at The Ohio State University. In partnership with AEP, Donatos, Huntington, Kroger, The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, and 10TV, Ohio State Athletics strives to inspire the community to make a positive impact on children and families in the great state of Ohio through our Buckeyes Care Initiative. Show and share your support in the community by using the hashtag Buckeyes Care.
Marathon has some great news about the number 5, so I'm going to say it 5 times in 5 different ways.
Join Marathon Rewards and earn up to $5 in rewards on your first visit. Join and earn 5 cents in rewards for every gallon you buy.
Join in as little as 5 seconds.
Join to make 5 friends jealous. Join and get high fives.
It's easy to sign up at the station or go to marathonrewards.com. By joining with your phone number, you are agreeing to receive recurring automated informational marketing SMS/MMS messages from Marathon. Consent not required for purchase. Messaging and data rates may apply.
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource. Proud to be your home for Ohio State Athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Brace yourselves for more Buckeye banter. This is the Buckeye Show.
Buckeye Show, Tito DeVier, Bodie with you. Make sure you stick around after our show on the money. We'll be taking to these here airwaves. Do we have the whole crew in here for that? Is it Scotty Vegas and is it Bids and Baker?
I'm not 100% certain. I know I've seen Baker, so.
You will always see Baker.
Got a third of them.
Yeah.
At the very least.
Yeah. Great show, though. Make sure you tune in for that. Scotty Vegas could be. He sent me a text. And I saw the rundown for the show today about some of your life losses in gambling kind of thing.
All right. So we got 2/3.
Right. That's 2/3.
I feel like Biddle's probably here. So let's just call it all 3.
Yeah. Okay. So with these new conferences and all these teams going in. ESPN did this piece. That's what kind of inspired me to do it. But they went through on ESPN and listed like 50 games, most were bowl games, I think, where like teams that played against each other are now going to be in the same conference together that could become rivals. And I'm curious. We know, obviously, Ohio State has the rivalry with that team up north. Is there one of the new teams that you are you'd most like to say, let's play that team every year that's coming in? Or even right now, because I know the Penn State thing, there was all kinds of people that were pissed off about Penn State not being an every year game. I'm okay with it. I don't consider Penn State a rival for Ohio State.
No, they want to be our rival. Yeah, they're like asking to be your friend.
Right.
But it's like
that's what they're doing.
Like, man, come on, man. You're not in our demographic.
Right.
We can't consider you.
Right.
So some of these teams and these new alignments that I am looking for, when I think about this, Tito, I think in terms of states that touch.
Okay.
And when I'm saying that, these teams should have already been rivals.
Okay.
LSU and Texas.
Right.
Absolutely.
That's a good one. You're right. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think that's makes a mix because you're already arguing like who has the best barbecue, who has the best food, and where's the best place to camp, where's the best place to vacation, and so I like games like that in the new conference alignment.
That's a good one. You're right. Yeah, I like that one also.
Yeah, I think that'll be good. Or teams that have had games in the past that were always good games.
Right.
Like Michigan, USC, Michigan State, Oregon, Ohio State, Oregon. I knew you were going to get to that one.
Yeah, I think Ohio State, Oregon's one I would like to see them play every year. I know it's going to be Oregon. Look, for the next 5 years, Oregon's better than Michigan. The next 5 years. I'll take Oregon over Michigan the next 5 years.
Yeah, and I think in the recruiting classes, it's going to be Ohio State and Oregon.
Yeah. In the conference, I think you're right.
Yep. When you're talking about best recruiting classes, we're recruiting. We're trying to get cats to not go to Oregon.
I'm looking forward to USC Michigan.
Yeah, I like that one.
I can't get behind USC Ohio State yet. I used to love when they'd play. They played in the Rose Bowl obviously a bunch of times. Had some non-conference games they played from time to time also, but I think I'd like USC Michigan or maybe even USC Penn State, something like that. And the reason I said what I like about that idea is when the Eastern or Midwestern team is hosting the game and it's November weather.
You just want somebody to be cold.
I want to see USC try to play in Happy Valley or in Ann Arbor in November.
Yeah. It's not really cold anymore in November.
I know it doesn't get cold. I went to damn global warming and all that kind of crap or whatever. Yeah, I know it doesn't get like it used to.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. When I first saw these conferences when the new alignments came out, that's what I was thinking of first was, because every time USC does the pansy thing with Notre Dame, Bodie, where when they play at Notre Dame, they got to play in October. When they play at USC, they're going to play in November.
Yeah, it's been that way
forever,
as far as I can remember it.
Yes.
I also think there was something too, though. I could be wrong on this, but I believe Notre Dame also is kind of okay playing the last game of their year.
They probably
either
are.
In Palo Alto or Southern Cal.
Right, they probably are also. But a lot more fun of a trip for your fan base, right? To go out to there and
if you're out there, yeah.
Well, I'm saying,
you got to be able to afford it.
Yeah, that too. But in the SEC now, Georgia, Oklahoma could be also kind of good.
You think that's going to be good?
I think that could be good. I think it could be fun the first few times they played against each other. But, the Oregon-Wisconsin one, I like that one. Texas-Alabama, I like that one. That'll be good. And it'll be interesting the first few times that we have the Pac-12 schools that are defected over here when they play Big Ten schools because in a lot of cases – they have not played since, say, the Rose Bowl or something like that,
Yes.
And so I'm looking forward to watching all the hype leading up to these games with some of the highlights from the past Rose Bowl games, when they show those kinds of things and getting reacquainted with some of the universities I didn't follow as closely in recent years because they were way out there and seeing, some of the things that will transpire leading up to those games. When they do play UCLA's played Northwestern in a bowl game before. In the Sun Bowl they played. back in 2005, and the reigniting of the Texas A&M thing. That'll be fun too.
Yeah,
seeing those games and seeing that because that was always a good game, always an entertaining game too. But yeah, all this stuff right now, I can't. There's a number of teams I can't wait to see play each other again. UCLA, Nebraska, even though I know Nebraska sucks and UCLA sucks, but when you see the traditional blue blood teams, even though they do stink now, still on the same field together in that atmosphere, and I wonder what's going to do UCLA's attendance this year, because UCLA's attendance has sucked the last few years.
Yeah,
and I wonder if when they get these.
I think that's going to draw fans out.
You think so? You think they'll finally start to draw them out there, huh?
Yeah, it might be a heavily away crowd, but I think it will get people to L.A. I mean, you're in Iowa. What are you doing in November? You want to go?
Right.
I'm going to L.A.
Yeah, what are you doing in Iowa? That's right. Yeah. All right, coming up next, we'll wrap things up with hashtag Buckeyes. This is the Buckeye Show on 97.1 The Fan.
Big voice guy here to remind you that you're listening to The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Okay, thanks. I have 3 more seconds. Bye-bye.
They're trained. They're prepared.
Let's do it.
They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Kroger always gives you savings and rewards on top of our lower-than-low prices. And when you download the Kroger app, you can enjoy over $500 in savings every week with digital coupons. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. And with a Boost membership, you'll save even more with double fuel points and free delivery. So you can always save big every day with our savings and rewards. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Extreme Limo is proud to be Central Ohio's first choice for luxury transportation. Serving our community since 2006, Extreme Limo has a full range of luxury cars, limos, and party buses for every occasion. And now offering you the new officially licensed Ohio State bus. You can travel in scarlet and gray style to your next game, wedding, or special event. Celebrate life and stretch the limit. Call Extreme Limo at 614-483-3300 to book today or visit extremelimo.com. That's XTREME limo.com.
Hi, I'm Gene Smith, Senior Vice President and Director of Athletics. Ohio State Athletics and Cardinal Health know how important diversity, equity, and inclusion are to the success of our community, employees, and student athletes. And we believe an equitable culture creates a community that attracts and retains the very best. Visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com/Buckeye-inclusion to learn more and join us as we educate and celebrate the value of diversity and inclusion.
Attention weekend warriors. Fan Sports Saturday has moved to 10 a.m. Join Eric Reeser and Tyvis Powell as they dive into popular topics like the Buckeyes and Tyvis's liquid diet.
Saturdays from 10 to 1.
The Fan.
Save big money on your next outdoor project at Menards. Easily transport mulch, stone, and other materials with a Masterforce heavy-duty steel wheelbarrow. Maneuver over any terrain with flat-free tires that never need air. Save big money on a Masterforce heavy-duty steel wheelbarrow and all Masterforce tools exclusively at Menards. Visit us in-store and menards.com and see all the great deals going on now in our weekly flyer.
Save big money at Menards.
This offer is only available at Reichert Ford. 0% financing for 72 months on every 2023 Ford F-150 in stock. Take advantage of Reichert's rate before it's too late. Lock in your 0% rate and take a new truck home today. Thousands of vehicles are waiting at ReichertFord.com.
See dealer for details. N6324.
Exclusively at Reichert Ford. 0% for 72 months is now available on every new 23 F-150 in stock. Hundreds of trucks at ReichertFord.com. We're dealing.
Get the right car at Reichert.
We're dealing.
It's lunchtime at Tim Hortons, and we're serving up a special deal just for you. Our new $5.99 lunch deal includes your choice of any lunch sandwich and a side of crunchy kettle chips. Because what's lunch without a little crunch? And the sandwich choice is all yours, like a ham and Swiss, Chipotle chicken wrap, BLT, and more, made to order just the way you like it. Tim Hortons' new lunch deal. Simple, delicious, and just $5.99. Now that's a good deal. Only at your neighborhood Tim's. U.S. only. Price and participation vary. Terms apply.
There's a little slice of heaven in a mountain town escape. A pace of life that's less hurried, more authentic, where people greet you with a smile and experiences feel down to earth, yet elevated. From Appalachian art to wineries and craft breweries, live music to a lively spirit. This is West Virginia. We call it Almost Heaven. Plan your getaway now at wvtourism.com.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Airflow Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Social media can be a cesspool. Allow us to navigate the waters. #Buckeyes.
Sponsored by The Waterworks. Trust the pros at The Waterworks for all your plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling needs. Visit thewaterworks.com today to get started.
Tito DeVier and Bodie with you here. Coming up top of the hour again on the money. Make sure you stick around for that. Always a great show. They have them on Wednesdays and Sundays. So 9 to 11 on Sunday, and then tonight for an hour from 8 to 9. DeVier, we got so wrapped up with the Ohio in the football rivalries thing. Yeah. Is there a basketball rivalry you're looking forward to seeing in the new Big Ten?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to see Michigan, UCLA.
Right.
Would love to see USC, Michigan State. I want to see Ohio State play at Oregon, too.
Yeah. I hate that floor.
I love that.
Do you love that floor?
I love that floor.
That must be a generational thing. Bodie, do you love the Oregon floor? But you're an old soul too, so you probably don't like it.
Yeah, I could go for a little less.
I
love that floor.
Would you want to play on that floor?
You love it, DeVier.
You would want to play on that?
Absolutely, man.
I don't know.
Graphics.
See, that's where I know I'm old, because put me on just an old plain wooden court, like in Hoosiers or something.
I'll be honest with you, Tito.
Inside a 3-point line, painted.
I did see something not too long ago that I'm trying to think of the word for it. Patches.
Yeah.
Like, you know how the NBA has like the actual like sponsored patches, not just like Nike and the NBA logo, but like they sell them.
Right.
I saw something about that coming to college football potentially in the near future. Nearly had a stroke because they just.
Well, on the jerseys or on the field?
Probably both, honestly.
Yeah, I guess got the thing on the field, right? On the field, there's a State Farm.
I can live with the.
There's a way you can do it just hologram like.
Yeah, you can hologram. Yeah, do it with the hockey. With the hockey, you'll see that.
Okay, I can live with that.
Right.
You're probably not hologramming on the jerseys.
No.
To me, college football jerseys are just very sacred.
They're sacred. Don't touch them.
Bum me out if that happens, but I know it's coming, so I guess what can you do about it?
Wait, you see like an Orange Crush sign on a Notre Dame jersey, what that does to Bodie.
That's just.
I would love to see some Washington versus Ohio State. Do you remember the movie Six Man with Marlon Wayans?
I don't think I saw that one.
Bodie, do you remember this movie? It's Six Man.
I don't think so.
It's about these two brothers. One of them dies, and another brother.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, and then he comes back in spirit or something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
And Sixth Sense?
Yeah, because of that movie, Washington basketball. I think they always have good basketball. They have good players up there, so we'll love to see some Buckeyes going out there too as well.
I'll make one more note on this before we move on to #Buckeyes, but the women's Big Ten is going to be loaded this year. I can't wait to see Ohio State and USC play.
Yeah, Juju Watkins.
And UCLA is a great team again. I mean, the Big Ten, it's going to be stacked this year with talent, and there's going to be so much fun to watch a lot of those games, and especially the Ohio State USC one. I think only Ohio State, they're going there, and that's it. I don't think they're doing a home and home with USC, if I'm not mistaken, but we'll find out more about that. #Buckeyes. I've got this one that I found, and it's about Gene Smith's retirement. It was kind of a cool thing where they OSU did a thank you Gene thing, and he's obviously leaving. This just came out earlier today, but at the end of June is when his time is up. 39 years of service for Gene Smith, and look, you cannot possibly say enough about what a great job he did for Ohio State with the changing landscape of college athletics. Whereas we think about Holtman or whatever, the fantastic job he did hiring coaches, all across the board. Ohio State's athletic department is in such fantastic shape, dealing with the COVID stuff and all that. Yeah. And Ohio State has not taken a step back at all.
The greatest athletic director of all time.
Ross Bjork's got some big shoes to fill.
He's like Kalen DeBoer.
Yeah, you're right. That's exactly right. Yeah.
He has a lot to do. But, when you think about Gene and just the times and everything he's kind of gone through, for him to step down at this time, He took his Krzyzewski. He took his Nick Saban time. He says, "You guys got it.
Yeah,
you guys got it. I've helped you guys lead this way. I've helped usher these conversations.
Right.
You take it from here." Yeah, what I have is Adam Backstrom says, Ohio State walk-on TC Caffey scored a can't-miss 49-yard touchdown versus Toledo a few years ago and still hasn't played in the last 2 seasons. Caffey never gave up on Ohio State in his dream, and now, as a walk-on, he is a piece of Ohio State's 2024 room. I like stories like this.
Yeah.
I like for people to stick it out. I like for people to fight through adversity. Nothing against the portal. I just like guys who have faith in the process and want to be Buckeyes and want to be here. And I think that needs to be praised more often. And for people who come to Ohio State for the love of this place, not from what I can get from Ohio State and what it can do for me.
Right.
But what this place means to me.
I wonder, I don't know if Ohio State gives out an award for this, and if they do, then I'm an idiot for saying this, but if they don't, I think they should give an award to someone like that who sticks with it.
Yeah.
And I would name it after Kenny Guyton.
The Kenny Guyton Award?
Yeah, I would do that. Because Smooth Jazz, the way, like, he had his big moment, but, like, he sat a lot. You know what I mean?
He did.
And, and so someone like guys like that, you're right, that is the part. That is the purest part of college football or college sports. When you get somebody like that who, could have gone somewhere else, could have packed it in, and stuck with it. It's almost, it's a that kind of thing right there. That's a great story. And I hope he gets some meaningful time this year and gets a chance to do some things. I was curious when I was thinking about the Gene Smith thing. When you're a player at Ohio State, how much interaction do you actually have, or how often do you actually talk to or have a conversation with Gene Smith?
I think Gene is a unique athletic director for that. Just in that he makes sure he comes to practice every week. Like he makes sure he's visible. He has a relationship with the guys on the team. I think that's part of the reason why he's one of the best athletic directors of all time, is because built into his busy schedule is building relationships with the student athletes. Having that open door policy, making sure that you can always he's an accessible athletic director. You can bring your cases or whatever stories or things you have to him. And I think that's one of the, least talked about things about him.
I always wondered about that because he's got a presence about him. Like when he walks into a room, he commands.
Yeah.
Eyeballs and all of that, and he. Did
you see how mad he was at Michigan this year?
Yeah, I did see that.
I loved that. I was like,
that's the greatest thing. Yeah,
just do it, man.
Right.
Get a Woody off. Get a Clemson.
Right. May as well. You're out anyway, right? Not going to change your legacy at all if you'd have done
that. Get a Woody Hayes off. Just boom.
Yeah, he's going to be missed. It's going to be tough for Bjork to. It's all set up, though. I like the fact that Bjork's been here now for a couple months already.
Yeah.
To learn under Gene Smith and shadow him and see what he does. I know Bjork's going to have his own personality, his own style. Yeah. When he had his press conference, he did a lot of the right things when him and Ted Carter were both talking. But it's got to, it seems like Bjork is going to embrace, has been able to embrace what Ohio State means. I know I say football, but it's all sports, but what, and I love the fact that, Bjork at that press conference said, and Carter echoed these sentiments that they don't want to have to cut any sports. Yeah. God, I hope that stays true. With this ever-changing landscape, I don't know if it'll be that way with the way the money's going to get distributed and who's going to get the money, and with the travel involved with all these sports now.
No, it has to stay true, Tito. You can't do that here at Ohio State. Like it's been, we have too many great athletes that aren't in basketball and football to cut. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like we have national championships. We have pedigree as a school in these other sports.
Yeah.
And that has to hold true,
It never ceases to amaze me when I think about how across the country there is no school that has as many varsity sports as Ohio State does. As many teams that do this thing, every sport possible, and how much the university is the leader. Say what you want, Texas, Alabama, whatever. They just on an overall scale of college athletics, there's nobody that compete with what Ohio State does.
Nobody. I think that's why it's the greatest university in America. And just from a student athlete perspective, Tito, when you arrive on campus, and yes, you're going to hang out with your team.
Mm-hmm.
But the best part too is getting to know people from other places. Getting to know the people from Canada who are here for hockey. Getting to know. Oh wait, you just played tennis?
Yeah,
that's all you do,
right?
And understanding that they're an athlete just like you. They have a skill, they have a scholarship, and they're here with the same focus that you do, right?
Sure.
That you have, and just getting to know all of those people over at Sasso and different, areas and expertise, man. I love that part of school.
God, just being a student at Ohio State, how many different opportunities you have to go and watch sports, good sports.
Absolutely.
And you get that opportunity at Ohio State. DeVier, thank you so much for all your hard work. Bodie, thank you as well. And I'm in tomorrow. It's DeVier and I hope you like us because we're back tomorrow, back Friday. You'll get us on Sunday as well on Fan Sports Sunday. Coming up next, though, it's our good buddies with the On the Money. Make sure you stick around for that. This is 97.1 The Fan.
Bo Bishop is a media legend. We have no idea where the other guys came from. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
Hi, I'm Kamiko, the founder of Miko's Hot Chicken. When we started our family restaurant, we were also raising a family. But let me tell you, it wasn't easy. Our Chase Inc. card was there to reward us on all of our business needs. Now we have a thriving location, and we're hungry for more.
With the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited card, you can earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for Business. Make more with yours. Real business owners compensated for their participation. Cards issued by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Hi, this is Ron from the Good Feet store. Are you standing on painful feet all day? Don't lose hope. We want to help you live without pain. Discover your option and visit goodfeet.com.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offers a variety of options and pricing that will meet your needs. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour of Ohio Stadium today.
Marathon has some great news about the number 5, so I'm going to say it 5 times in 5 different ways.
Join Marathon Rewards and earn up to $5 in rewards on your first visit. Join and earn 5 cents in rewards for every gallon you buy.
Join in as little as 5 seconds.
Join to make 5 friends jealous. Join and get high fives.
It's easy to sign up at the station or go to marathonrewards.com. By joining with your phone number, you are agreeing to receive recurring automated informational marketing SMS/MMS messages from Marathon. Consent not required for purchase. Messaging and data rates may apply.
Libman makes a difference. The Libman Mop Crew is a part of our winning team. The Libman Mop Crew makes sure the hardwood is safe and clean for the players every game at the Schottenstein Center. No matter what kind of flooring you have at your home court, Libman has the tools to keep it clean. Our mops, brooms, and brushes are proudly family made in the USA. Visit Libman.com to see our whole lineup and for a store locator. That's Libman.com. Libman, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Come on over to Heartland and join our family.
Did the pandemic eliminate quality customer service? Well, many places it did, but not here at Heartland Bank. Imagine getting top quality service and good advice as well to help you down life's road. It's community banking, and it's alive and well in the Heartland. I'm Scott McComb, CEO. Coming over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Where banking feels good. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.